The support you need after 60, don't wait until it's too late. You know, I used to believe that as long as I had my family around me, everything else would fall into place, and for a long time, that was true. Family was the center of my world, but the older I got, the more I realized something that no one had warned me about. Life changes, people grow apart, loved ones get busy, move away, or build lives of their own. And sometimes through no one's fault you find yourself standing alone in a quiet house, wondering where everyone went. Now, this isn't about blame, it's about reality. After 60, life demands a new kind of strength. One that doesn't just rely on the people around you, but on the foundation you build beneath yourself. If you're over 60, or even approaching it, you know exactly what I mean. You start to see things differently. You begin to value peace over noise, depth over drama, and preparation over assumptions. So, today, I want to share something deeply personal. These are the 5 pillars that, in my experience, matter even more than family as you get older. Not because family isn't important, but because life has a way of testing what you've built when no one else is around. These 5 things are what keep you grounded, independent, and strong even when circumstances change, and people you thought would be there forever aren't. And if you stick with me until the end, I'll share something I wish someone had told me a long time ago, something that just might shift the way you look at aging, and help you build a life that feels whole, no matter who's standing next to you. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's talk like old friends. Because if you ask me, growing older, in the end of anything it's the beginning of something powerful. Let's get into it. Emotional resilience, the strength that carries you. As we get older, life starts to feel quieter. The house isn't as loud as it used to be. The calendar doesn't fill up as fast. And people we once leaned on, they start to slip away. And that's when it becomes clear. We need something stronger than comfort. We need resilience. Emotional resilience ain't about pretending to be okay when you're not. It's not about smiling through the hard days or ignoring what hurts. It's about learning how to carry yourself with strength, even when the road gets tough. I think about my old friend Sam. We've known each other since high school. Sam was always the strong, steady-type family man, hard worker, always the one everyone went to for advice. But when his wife passed, and his children moved away for work, that steady life of his suddenly felt hollow. At first, he isolated himself, stopped going to church, skipped the weekly coffee group we used to have. He told me one afternoon, "I just don't feel like myself anymore. I don't know who I am without everyone around." But with time and a bit of nudging from the rest of us, Sam started showing up again. First it was small things. He came back to our Thursday morning breakfast. He picked up gardening, just to keep his hands busy. Then he joined a writing group at the community center. Not because he was a writer, but because it gave him something to look forward to. And I watched him slowly come back to life, not the same as before, but stronger in a quieter way. That's what emotional resilience looks like. It's not about bouncing back quickly. It's about allowing yourself to change, to grieve, to grow. Because the truth is, no matter how close your family is, no matter how much your friends love you, there will be moments where you face the weight of life alone. And in those moments, it's your inner strength that keeps you steady. Your habits, your perspective, your willingness to feel and move forward anyway. So, if you ever find yourself sitting alone with a heavy heart, I want you to remember this. You are not weak for feeling pain. You are strong for continuing on with grace. Resilience is the quiet power that lives in all of us, and it only gets stronger with age. Okay, let's chat about secret number 2. And goodness, this one hits close to home for all of us, doesn't it? It's taking care of our physical health. You know, people say health is the greatest wealth, and I truly believe that, especially as we navigate our 60s and beyond. You can have all the financial security you want, but if you don't have the health to enjoy it, if getting around becomes a struggle, then that freedom doesn't feel so free anymore, does it? Here's the plain truth. Our bodies, at this stage, become either our greatest ally, helping us stay active and independent, or they can become our biggest obstacle. And the responsibility for keeping our bodies as strong and capable as possible, that lands squarely on our own shoulders. Our loved ones, bless their hearts, they care deeply, but they can't do the exercises for us. They can't make the healthy food choices for us day in and day out. That part is up to us. It reminds me a bit of a fellow named Carl mentioned in the reading. He'd always been pretty active when he was younger, but retirement hit, and he kind of let things slide. You know the story. Oh, I'll get back to exercising next month, next year ... but later often doesn't come. Before he knew it, simple things got tough. His energy wasn't there. He eventually realized he had to take charge himself to get his independence back, right then and there. And that's really the heart of it for all of us. We don't need to become super athletes, but making those small, consistent efforts truly adds up. Choosing to move our bodies each day, even just a walk. Choosing foods that genuinely fuel and nourish us. Paying attention to those regular checkups and listening honestly when our body sends us signals, those aches, those changes in energy. Every healthy choice we make today is like putting a deposit in the bank for our future selves, ensuring we have the strength and vitality to rely on. Because ultimately, one of the most dependable support systems we have is our own ability to stay active and capable, reducing how much we might ever need to lean on others later on. Okay, let's delve into secret number 3, nurturing our social circle, which truly becomes like our chosen family. This is something we need to be quite intentional about, isn't it? Let's be honest, loneliness can sometimes visit us, especially after 60. Maybe the house echoes a bit more, or the phone stays quiet for longer stretches. It's a reality many of us face as lives shift and change. That's why I believe the key often lies in being proactive. We frequently need to be the ones initiating contact, making that first move. And please don't underestimate the incredible value of friendships formed or deepened at this stage of life. They offer a unique kind of companionship and understanding that can be wonderfully enriching. Having that supportive circle truly is like medicine for the soul. I think of my neighbor, Carol. She's always been a reader, but mostly kept to herself. Last year, feeling a bit isolated, she decided to join the Wednesday morning book club at our local library. She told me she was nervous going the first time, but goodness, now she wouldn't miss it. She's met people who share her passion. They have lively discussions and probably a bit of gossip. And it gives her a real bright spot to look forward to each week. Or my friend, Bob, whose wife passed away a few years back. He started joining a casual walking group that meets at the park. He gets his steps in, sure, but he always says the best part is just the easy conversation, the shared jokes, and knowing those folks will be there. It shows how these simple, regular points of contact, a club, a walking group, even just consistent chats with a neighbor you like, weave together that essential social fabric that keeps us feeling connected, engaged, and truly part of something. Secret 4. Sense of purpose. Why you get out of bed. Okay, let's talk about secret number 4. And this is something I think many of us experience, but maybe don't discuss often enough. Finding that sense of purpose, that why that gets you eagerly out of bed in the morning. You know, after retirement, or perhaps when the kids are grown and have their own busy lives, it's pretty common to hit a point where you pause and think, okay, now what? Those big, defining roles, employee, maybe full-time parent or caregiver, they start to shift or fade. And honestly, if we don't find new ways to feel engaged and find meaning, life can start to feel a little empty, Perhaps. It reminds me of a story I heard about a gentleman named Harold. He was a retired engineer, a very smart man. Well, after the initial enjoyment of retirement wore off, a few months of relaxing, maybe too much TV, he started feeling really restless, kind of bored. Do you know what completely turned things around for him? He found out the local children's hospital needed wooden toys, and he started spending his time in his workshop, building them. Isn't that something? That one simple act of using his skills for others gave him renewed energy, a clear purpose, and a wonderful connection to his community again. It just perfectly illustrates a beautiful truth. Our purpose doesn't retire when we do. It just waits for us to perhaps reinvent it, to find a new channel for our energy and passions. Secret 5. Emotional resilience, your inner strength. Let's move on to secret number 5, and this one digs a little deeper into our inner world, cultivating emotional resilience, finding that strength inside ourselves. Because let's face it, life after 60 doesn't stop throwing curveballs, does it? There can be heartbreaks, losses of people we love, big changes we didn't expect. Sometimes you might even feel a bit unseen. And while having friends and family to lean on is truly a blessing, the deepest truth I've come to understand is that, ultimately, you have to be your own anchor. You need that inner core of strength. Now, resilience isn't about pretending things don't hurt or bottling it up. Not at all. It's more about learning how to bend with life's winds without breaking. It's about finding healthy tools that work for you. Maybe it's journaling to untangle your thoughts, talking things through with someone you trust, or even just taking a few moments each day to focus on gratitude for the good things still present. These things help us process life's inevitable ups and downs with more grace. It reminds me of my dear friend, Helen. She sadly lost her husband. They'd been together for more than 40 years. Naturally, she leaned heavily on her children quite a bit in the beginning. But as time went on, she realized that while they loved her immensely, she needed to find her own footing, her own way to heal from within. And she did. She found strength she didn't know she had. It's a beautiful reminder for all of us, isn't it? Our strength doesn't just disappear as we age. It often just changes form, maybe becoming quieter, deeper, and showing up when we need it most. So, that brings us to the end of our chat today about these 5 secrets, these important foundations we can build and strengthen for ourselves as we journey through our 60s and beyond. While our families and loved ones will always hold a very special place in our hearts, the real truth seems to be that the most reliable, day in day out stability comes from the work we do within ourselves and our own lives. When we tend to these 6 areas, we build a kind of inner and outer strength that means we don't have to feel helpless or solely dependent on others when challenges arise. It's not about hoping someone will be there. It's about knowing we've prepared ourselves to stand strong, with grace and confidence, no matter what life brings. Thank you so much for joining me for this conversation today. I truly hope sharing these thoughts has been helpful. What's one idea or secret that particularly resonated with you today? Or perhaps something you plan to focus on a little more in your own life? Please do share your thoughts in the comments below. I genuinely enjoy reading them, and it gives us all a chance to learn from each other's wisdom and experience. If you found this video helpful, giving it a thumbs up always brightens my day and helps others find our chat. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss our future conversations. Your support means the world and helps keep this channel going. Take good care of yourselves, be well, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.